Haven't you ever felt that subtle tug? It's like a silent invitation from the deepest chambers of our being, whispering of a truth beyond the clamor of everyday life. A place I really, really like to get to more and more often as I get older. It is a call not to seek outward, but to journey inward to the luminous core of who you truly are. This journey is contemplation, and it's an ancient art now revealed to us as a profound science of the self, a path of awakening to the sacred symphony of existence that we've been taught throughout the ages by the wisest prophets, sages, and saints. Contemplation really invites an inward journey to discover the luminous core of our being, offering profound spiritual insight. It's there and available to all of us. If only we had known, if only we had discovered this before we let the environment allow us to become depressed and anxious and stressed and hopeless for some of us, But contemplation is a transformative practice, fostering very deep awareness, deep empathy, and a shift from survival mind to thriving, which is really the core of all the work I do today, from self-realization to God consciousness. It reveals interconnectedness and the sacredness of life, encouraging us to embrace love and unlock the potential that we all have, our highest potential, through self-actualization. Contemplation really is the highest expression of our intellectual and spiritual life, a state where you're fully awake, active, and profoundly aware that you're alive. It is spiritual wonder, a spontaneous awe at the sacredness of life and being, as our teachers have taught us. It is the overflowing of gratitude for the existence and awareness of nature, of ourselves and others. It is the awareness of God, self and other. So within this sacred space of this kind of realization, you really touch a vivid realization that life and being in us is processed from an invisible, transcendent, and infinitely abundant source. If you can't feel this, if you don't know who you are, if you are not in touch with your soul, then you need to look into the practice of contemplation and discover who you truly are, because there is only suffering when we're doomed to be closed in by the prison of personality. So this awareness of the source that is available to all of us is, however, known obscurely, inexplicably, filled with mystery. We can't see it, yet with a definite certitude that transcends both reason and simple faith. We have the capacity to understand the entire universe, the God, which sometimes we feel we cannot see. Contemplation is a unique kind of spiritual vision where one sees without seeing and knows without knowing. And you need to be in a certain position in your life to really start to grasp these concepts. Delving into a depth of faith too profound for images, words, or clear concepts is not something we can really do in the first half of life. We've really got to become more conscious. We've got to go from a contracted consciousness to at least expanded consciousness to grasp who we even are. That 3-worded sentence, who am I, is really only something like contemplation can begin to answer. And from that point, it teaches us how to unknow more than know, constantly questioning answers and moving beyond fixed beliefs that no longer serve our expanded consciousness. We have ideas when we're kids and we hold on to those for our lifetimes. And even worse, we start to defend these concepts and we can become very closed when we do so. Life is always about moving through liminal spaces. It is always about understanding that everything's impermanent, and it's about getting from A to B, which is from human back to divine nature, from the masks of who you think you are to who you really are. That's what life's about. It's this unfolding or flowering of consciousness, and that's the meaning. That's what it's all about. Einstein used to teach, it is in constantly questioning that we begin to know. So when the mind no longer serves us and starts to drive us crazy with obsessive thoughts, we shift towards listening to the prayer of the heart. For more than a prayer of the mind, really, a universally relational practice that encompasses embracing the mysterious, of course, which the mind doesn't like. The mind loves certainty, hates the uncertain, hates the mysterious. It's dangerous. It could be unreal. It's not something that the mind can control, which is, of course, its job. It's the job of the entire personality. Thomas Merton was a famous monk and a profound contemplative, and he described it as a gratitude for life, for awareness, and for being in a vivid realization that life proceeds from an invisible, transcendent, and infinitely abundant source. One of the best things about this contemplative journey is it's a sacred journey, but it's not a passive pursuit, not at all. It is practical, radical, and transformative, and it fosters deep concentration. It takes specific focus and quiets the mind, the survival mind, the animalistic mind, amidst the many, many endless distractions of everyday life. Through it, we cultivate what I call contemplative intelligence, meta-intelligence. It's thinking about thinking. It is becoming aware that your thoughts are not you. And that is the contemplative intelligence, or CQ, which gives us this ability to think about thinking. And it guides us well beyond the mere survival instincts of the limbic system into the higher realms of the prefrontal cortex, where our true potential resides, in that executive functioning, that creativity. That's what we access with contemplation. So this whole journey represents for me a paradigm shift from a survival mind to a thrive mind, or body-heart mind, recalibrating our neurochemistry for healing, growth, and true enrichment, true purpose. Contemplation grounds us in empathy, or heart, or courage, by eliminating ego identities and separation perspectives that are dualistic, leading to the profound realization that there is no separation in reality, no judgment. Contemplation is the end of two, as I always say. It's the end of duality, the cessation of the divided mind, revealing the interconnectedness of all things. This holistic practice, really, this spiritual practice, if you will, allows us to compassionately connect and recreate, if you will, who we are, and allow that to emerge. It's what we've done throughout the centuries, and the best of us at least. And it is considered by some as the highest form of intelligence that a human being on this earth can possess. It's a way of seeing, praying, beholding, wondering, meditating, musing, and recognizing all at once. The spiritual awakening is a response to a universal call. It calls for all of us that is beyond words. An invitation to connect with your authentic, unconditioned, sacred self, true self, which is your inherent identity, your soul's image, your divine DNA, if you will. In this state, we come to understand that everything you do, every breath you take, is inherently sacred, and that God is mystery and life is mystery also. Through contemplation, we can take an endless, self-regulated and loving gaze at reality and the naked truth exactly as they are. It's the truth that it's going to set us free. And we can take this journey unhindered by personality or ego defense mechanisms when we're aware. So it is in recognizing the divine spark within, moving from fear to love consciousness, where love is the most powerful force in the universe. We learn to embody humility, compassion, and open-mindedness rather than suffering and sickness, realizing that love is not merely a feeling, but it's an action, it's a verb. By nurturing this inner wisdom, we discover that the universe is a universe, or one verse, one song, one love, and that everything is on purpose. And that's the great lie. All anxiety is caused through ideas that we are separate. All anxiety is separation anxiety, and this is something I teach people when I help them overcome it. Contemplation is the end of that separation, the end of the two, the split narrative of not good enough, not worthy, disconnected from God. It's all nonsense, it's all rubbish. And even better, it's all finished. We just have to become conscious that it is so. So this is the promise of self-actualization and God realization that we study and pursue today at depth, where you not only transcend the self, but also create a new, powerful, sacred self, the divine self that is eternal. Everything that is not real will fall away, including all those parts of you that are not real. And this is the wonder of life revealed through contemplation. It's a gift of grace. It really is. It's a journey of consciously choosing to move from low energy to high, from the subconscious to the conscious, and from the certain to the uncertain, leaning into mystery, leaning into discomfort. When we accept these things in life, we get to be free. We get to stop suffering, even though pain is part of the deal. So I really invite everybody to step into the stillness of the contemplative field today. I'll meet you there, where Rumi said, out beyond all ideas of right and wrong doing, there's a field, and I'll meet you there. That to me is the contemplative field. Learn to be quiet, solitary, and simply listen to the soft, guiding voice within. It's there. It's always there. And right there is where you're going to find the gentle embrace of contemplative practice, a contemplative life that you will unlock all your creativity from and move forward with boundless potential. We're really unlimited. And when we know we're unlimited, we can discover profound meaning and purpose in all of this, in all of history, in all of the present, and all of the future, and experience magic, marvel, and mystery in terms of God and His creation, which is, quite frankly, all around you. It's pretty difficult to ignore, although the frightened parts of our personality do their very best to distract and ignore. And that might be the snake's intention in the garden. Who knows? But it must all fall away. God's creation, of course, is the first Bible. It's a living, breathing reality. And it's a mirror of your own being. You've just got to be still and access a contemplative mind to start seeing it and then practice what you see. So Dostoevsky said, beauty will save the world. And he was right. Beauty, truth, and goodness are all you know on earth and all you need to know, said Keats. And he was right too. I mean, all of this allows us to creatively respond and work proactively to what could be. In other words, the mystery of the future, this world as it unfolds, an unfolding that never ever truly ends.